Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Friday, January 10th. Over the last 30 days, we've seen precipitation scattered around the Great Basin, especially in the south and in the north. However, the only area that has seen precipitation above normal for the time of year has been over parts of southern and eastern Utah. Also over southern Idaho, we have seen near normal conditions, but elsewhere across the Great Basin, over the last 30 days, precipitation has remained below normal. Over the last 72 hours, we have seen some new snowfall over the northern half and western areas of the Great Basin. Most of the snowfall was on the lighter side. However, we did see some heavier amounts up over eastern Idaho into western Wyoming. And you can see the snow depth in the image on the right. Looking at snowpack in relation to normal, you can see generally near to just above normal snowpack over much of Utah into parts of southern areas of the Great Basin. However, further north and west, snowpack remains near to just below normal. We don't have any significant drought concerns across the Great Basin with cooler temperatures and occasional periods of precipitation. Really no concerns at this time. The satellite image from this morning shows we did have that area of low pressure move through the Great Basin and is now located over eastern areas of Utah and will continue pushing eastward. This will allow clouds and some showers to continue today across Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, with drier conditions over western areas of the Great Basin. However, you can see another system well off the west coast, and that will move eastward. We will likely have areas of low pressure impacting the Great Basin for the next week, off and on, with precipitation most days, especially over the northern half of the region. Looking at our weather pattern for later today, again, that first system is now moving well off to the east by this afternoon. However, the next system moves into the Pacific Northwest, and this will allow for clouds and occasional snow showers to occur later today over parts of Idaho and Wyoming again. We will see drier conditions and breezy winds over parts of southern areas of the Great Basin. This will help keep dispersion on the higher side over southern areas, but poor elsewhere. You can see those winds, generally north to northwest winds, over southern Utah into the Arizona Strip, and also westerly winds increasing ahead of that next system across Idaho into northwest Nevada. Mixing heights will remain in the low to moderate range. By Saturday, this system pushes eastward, bringing precipitation again to the northern half of the region. We will also see some gusty winds, keeping dispersion higher over western and central Nevada into parts of western Utah. And you can see those transport winds across western and northern Nevada stronger, generally gusts between about 25 and 35 miles per hour or higher. We will also see relatively moderate to high mixing heights over western areas of the Great Basin and a little bit lower as you get further east. By Sunday, that system moves through, but we do have another area of low pressure dropping down from the south, again keeping unsettled conditions mainly over the northern half of the Great Basin. This is where the precipitation will be targeted, with mainly only cloud cover in far southern areas. We will see those gusty winds continue on Sunday over western and northern Nevada into western Utah, again keeping dispersion higher. And you can see on the transport winds where those strongest winds will be located. Mixing heights again generally in the moderate range over much of Idaho, northern and western Nevada and western Utah, and a little bit lower over eastern and southern areas. Looking at the forecast clearing index for Utah, you can see generally low to moderate conditions today, but clearing indices will increase more dramatically on Saturday as those winds increase over the central mountains and over western areas of Utah, and then will be pushed further east on Sunday over mainly northeast Utah. You can see the forecast amount of precipitation here through the weekend. You can see again precipitation generally targeting the northern half of the area, especially across Idaho, Wyoming, the higher terrain of Utah, but also some snow showers will be occurring further west across the northern half of Nevada as well. As we move into next week, the unsettled pattern continues, still generally dominated by low pressure across the western U.S. So as these disturbances move through, we'll have another round of precipitation on Monday and Tuesday over northern areas, along with some gusty winds keeping dispersion on the high side. And then on Tuesday, the system will start to exit late in the day, but we will see those showers continuing and actually fairly heavy at times Monday night into Tuesday over parts of western Nevada into the Sierra and also into northern Nevada as well as the northern areas of the Great Basin. These systems will continue to be on the cool side with generally snow down to the valley floors over the northern half of the region, with the warmer conditions still remaining down south. Dispersion will remain on the high side on Tuesday as this next system moves through. On Wednesday, we will see kind of a break in the weather for a period of time over western areas as the precipitation moves further east, but we will see another wave of storms move in for the Thursday-Friday time period. And you can see that impact on Thursday, again mainly in the northern half of the region, for possibly another round of some heavier precipitation in some areas of northern Nevada into the Sierra. The forecast amount of precipitation is shown here from Monday night through Wednesday night. And again, you can see generally over the northern half of the region with the heaviest amounts of precipitation in the Sierra, and also the higher terrain of the central and northern Utah mountains up into western Wyoming and parts of Idaho. The 8 to 14-day outlook takes us from January 17th through the 23rd, still looking at cooler than normal conditions over the northern half of the region with warm and dry conditions down south, and also above normal precipitation, especially for Idaho, Wyoming, and the northern portions of Nevada and Utah. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Monday for the latest updates.